This is the 2023 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment, British Brown Ale. Thanks to our sponsors: Imperial Yeast, 5 Star Chemicals, Yakima Valley Hops, Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Store, and Brewers Hardware. Let's get tasting.
Hi everyone, this is Kurt from Fermentation Adventures, checking in with the next video in the 2023 Brewtubers Yeast Experiment. Right now, this video, I'm reviewing Wrecked Brewing's sample. It's the Bedford Bell Ringer brown ale that he put together. His yeast that he used was White Labs WLP006 Bedford British Ale. I should have printed out a little bit of information on the yeast itself, but I'll probably just drop it in the description. There's going to be other videos that you could probably get the information from. I'm looking at his can here. He nailed the 27 IBU. His beer came in at 6% ABV. Unfortunately, in this example, I'm probably going to be comparing it a lot to my beer, which I just reviewed, because at this point, that's the only one I've reviewed in the series itself. My beer was 5.4% ABV. His came in at 6% ABV. It was brewed... It was brewed on September 6th. It was kegged on the 20th. It was canned on the 17th. So I'm here early in December. So it's been in this can a little less than 2 months. His mash pH was 5.3, mashed at 152, fermented at 68. His original gravity was 1054. His final gravity was 10008. Again, mine came in at 1015, so mine was a little bit higher, had a little bit higher finishing gravity to him, and my OG was, a little bit higher as well. So that's really the finishing gravity is what's accounting for his higher ABV. Yeah, that's all he has on here. And again, I'll probably be referring interchangeably to Wrecked Brewery or Matt, who is the brewer in the Brewtubers Club that brewed this. So let me open this up. I have had it open and sitting out for about 20 minutes. I haven't opened the beer. I have had it sitting out for about 20 minutes to warm up a little bit so I can hopefully open up the flavors a little bit. So let's pour it here. See if we can get this on the secondary camera. There you go. And Matt has done a great job filling his. Nothing jumped out and spilled all over my hands. Let's pour it out. Let's pour the whole thing out here. Somewhat aggressively. Slow down at the finish. See, yeah, awesome. That's why I got this nice big Nonic glass here. So yeah, you can see how I poured it a little aggressively. Right off the bat, again, I'll mention here, I'm going to kind of somewhat follow the BJCP judging guidelines as I'm going through the review here. So I can kind of try to talk about similar things in each beer. I'm not scoring them. There is going to be some sort of a preference in ranking the beers themselves. But you can see here, here's the head. He probably had a finger and a half head right out of the can. This beer did. The head itself, the color looks the same, which was, right around that between the ivory edging up into the beige color. It was a little rocky, the foam itself, again, just from probably the pour itself. The good thing I can see here from pouring it that way, some lacing is starting to stick around, which is really nice. The head is dropping down. I wouldn't say quick. I wouldn't say it's lasting. It's probably an intermediate there. It is not going away right away, dropping down right away. I'm sure as I drink, if this was like mine, it'll go down to it'll leave a skim of a head, and as I drink, it'll foam up as the glass gets jostled around a little bit. The color is that good classic brown color. I don't think I don't think Matt has a SRM on here. I know my SRM was, if I refer back, or at least the target was 21. An SRM of 21. I'd say his looks pretty similar. Pick it up and look at it. The clarity, it is a pretty clear beer. It's certainly not brilliant. Mine, I would say, was a little bit more brilliant or clear than this. It is still very clear for a brown beer, brown ale. It just does have a little bit of very, very, very light haze in there, just enough to kind of obscure things a little bit. And that's probably what makes it look a little bit darker than mine, but it is the real classic brown color. Again, all right, so that's it. So yeah, so you can see here some of the lacing is sticking around, which is quite nice. So let's smell. Yeah. So unlike my example, mine really kind of popped the initial aromas I got out of it was very much a kind of like a toastiness or a almost roastiness from it. This from Matt's example, it's more, I'm getting more of that classic, that classic crystal malt or caramel aroma from it. That's really featuring. I do get a little bit of chocolate from it. I can definitely get the chocolate in there as well. No, there's nothing in here, again, that's suggesting roastiness. Which again, if I recall the style guidelines correctly, it really shouldn't be a roasty flavor in here. Once you start getting into the roasty flavors, then you're really more in the porter stout range. But yeah, I'll trying to reset my nose here a little bit. Yeah, I do get more of that caramely, maybe some dark fruit, like the dark raisiny-ness. I think I would think I got right then. So, and again, I don't know if the raisiny is kind of a suggestion of the underlying, like the citrus or like a dark fruitiness is coming with the a yeast ester interplay here. I don't think so. I kind of think it's probably more just the malt components from it. Yeah, overall, it's probably a really classic brown malt aroma, brown ale malt aroma from this. I like it. Again, I like the aroma quite a bit. Again, I don't really think I get hops. I don't really smell anything I would consider a flaw in here, but that's it. Yeah, again, it's glass is fairly nice and clean. I am getting some lacing sticking around, which is nice. All right, so let's go in for a sip. Okay. Yeah, and again, probably consistent with the aroma. The flavor itself, unlike mine, I don't get like a really dark toastiness. I get more of that, that caramel, dark caramel flavors coming through. Here on the finish, I probably get a little bit of the, again, like the raisiny or the kind of the dark fruit. Yeah, and the retro nasal, I'll probably get some of that toastiness. And interesting, as I kind of lick my lips, I do taste the, I can definitely taste the alcohol a little bit in this one, which is interesting. Again, that could just be kind of a one-off type thing where I'm getting it there, but I do get a little bit of the ethanol popping through in this a little bit. Again, 6% is not really that high, but for some reason it is standing out here a little bit. Yeah, I do get a little bit of the bitterness in the finish. Again, the finish is probably still more dominated by, rather than like a bitterness or kind of a hoppy, herbaceous finish I was getting from mine. I really don't get that in Matt's at all here. Not really. Nothing really, at least that's standing out. I'm standing out more of the classic, like the dark malt flavor is still kicking around. Like that dark toasted flavor is really kicking around for me. But yeah, the bitterness, it's interesting. I had 2 cans of this, I'll confess. And if the first can was an aborted review, that didn't go too well because the cameras were messed up. But the first can I've tried of this, the finish and the mouthfeel, it was kind of weird for me, and it could have been just where I was at that point and that night when I was reviewing it. I wouldn't say, the finish was, it definitely wasn't a dry finish, and it definitely wasn't like a flabby or a watery finish. But it was when I reviewed it, similar that time to my beer. Mine had more of that kind of classic little hop nibble in the finish that kind of cleaned up the palate, make me want to come back for another. But this right now, I don't get any of that sort of flabbiness or anything from Matt's beer. It's, it's finishing quite nice, actually. It's finishing probably perfect for a brown. There's no real aftertaste, except for, again, I'm still getting little bits of alcohol pop out here, or maybe that's just some of the dark malts are still kind of lingering around in my mouth that I'm picking up on here. But yeah, the flavor itself, again, it's very much the classic. I'd say a classic brown, with the caramely malts, some approaching toast in here. Let's see if I get any of the bitterness. No, but yeah, that little bit of hop bitterness in the finish is there kicking around and really making it as not a flabby beer by any means. So it's making it quite nice. So yeah, I think let's see if I talked anything. Again, his beer finished out quite a bit lower than my beer. Mouthfeel wise, as far as body, again, this is not a thick beer, but it has more mouthfeel than I would think from a 1008 beer. Again, I have light lagers and everything that I've ferment down to that range, and to me they seem to be the quote unquote crispy boy type beers, and this is in that range, and I wouldn't call the finish crispy by any means. It's quite tasty, but for a brown ale, it's like an appropriate finish, I would say. The balance is much more towards the malt. Hops are definitely in here supporting in the appropriate role, balanced appropriately for the style, I would say. The carbonation is perfect. It is not overcarbed by any means. The classic carbonation, it's not warming. It's like I said, I think I'm tasting a little bit of alcohol here and there, but it's more I'm tasting it. It's not a hot or a very alcoholic warm type flavor. It's just the alcohol is in there kicking around. I can definitely tell it's there. Yeah. Again, I think I'm getting a lot of the the raisiny prune type character from the beer, the dark fruit, which is quite nice. Yeah, it is quite a good beer. So again, here it is. This was again Bedford Bell Ringer from Wrecked Brewery. Our friend Matt brewed this one. Really happy he got involved in the experiment, shared the beer, gave me a chance to try it and talk about it to you all. Again, and as I close here, as I look forward to the next video, Just want to mention our sponsors who sponsor the club, sponsor the Brewtubers Club: Imperial Yeast, 5 Star Chemicals, Beer and Wine Hobby, Yakima Valley Hops, and Brewers Hardware. Big thanks to all those great companies for supporting us and helping us do fun stuff like this. So I'll wrap it there. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's it. Oh, and we were supposed to rank these. Maybe I'll put it back. Maybe I'll leave it here right at the end. But ranking these, again, probably biased from having mine on keg and drinking it a lot. I like mine a bit better than Matt's. I think in mine the malt, I get a little bit of a different malt character. It pops it up a little bit, and I kind of, because I'm somewhat of a hophead, style be damned, I do like that little bit of a hop. Firm hop nibble right at the end that's definitely there and cleans everything up and leaves me with a little bit of a herbaceous aftertaste. So I kind of enjoy that. So that's it. Thanks. Bye.